Today I'm trying carbon wheels on the Niner MCR. There's a local gravel event. It's about 20 minutes from my house. It's called the Heartbreaker Ride. It's put on by JOM from Gravel Cyclists. Today's route is 75 miles. And so the Niner MCR, let me show it here as I talk about the wheels. So the stock wheels with the Stans Grail. I like those wheels, but JOM from Gravel Cyclists told me that carbon wheels are a lot better than those. So I'm gonna try these Tough wheels that were given to me quite a while ago from Tough to demo. These are pretty stiff. They're great for cyclocross racing. For gravel, for me personally, they're a little bit harsh for a long ride, which makes me think that with the Niner MCR, they're gonna be awesome. So I have not tested these, so it's right into the fire of a gravel event. So I'm kind of stoked about seeing how these ride. So if it starts to get a little bumpy, a little harsh, I'll activate the suspension and we'll see how it goes. So I want to give an update of the MCR after that ride. I said after I used the MCR on another fast group event that I wasn't going to use it again for fast group rides because it's really not the best tool for the job. I think a standard gravel bike on the types of roads that we ride on, those bikes are better for the fast group events. However, I did want to try the carbon wheels and I didn't have any goals to be that competitive on this ride. I just wanted to do it. I'm not really in my kind of go fast season, although I pushed it hard today. That was a fast ride. It was neutralized for the first 45 minutes to an hour, and then it just took off. And I stayed with the lead group almost the first half of the hard section until, believe it or not, we got to a really bumpy gravel road, and I wish I had been in the front because I got caught in a split and the group just took off. And had I been in the front, this bike was buttery smooth on that grass. I saw people bounce on all over the place, and this bike was just planted. And I got caught in a split and couldn't get caught back up, and that was it. But it was a hard ride. So interestingly enough, on this bike today, I rode it with the shock fully open the whole ride. Not intending to, but when I got to the start line, there was a lot of play in the cable. So this shock in that position is locked out, and then you engage the shock like that. Well, there was a lot of play in the cable, so I thought maybe the cable had stretched out a little bit and I just really couldn't get it to unlock. It was like stuck with the cable down. So what happened was when I got home, I rotated the shock forward. Really easy to do. You just undo the bolt on the other side here, and you can rock the shock forward, and I was going to take out some slack in the cable. Well, whatever was binding released. I don't know what I did. It wasn't rocking the shock forward, but something I did messing around with my fingers, it released it, and now it's totally fine. So I actually put some spray lube on it, put the shock back in the right position, and it was totally fine. But I ended up doing the whole ride with the shock open, and you know what? It wasn't that bad. Even on the climbs when I was standing up and sprinting, the shock moved a little bit, but not as much as I would anticipate. So it was kind of a good test today for the MCR to see what it was like. So I would lock out the fork on the pavement and lock out the fork on climbs, but then I would keep the fork open the rest of the time, and the bike did really well. Like I said, it's not the best tool for the job for a race. Unless it's really bumpy and you have really gnarly descents, then it would be great. But the nice thing about these carbon wheels is, like I said before, these wheels are a little bit harsh when when they're on a standard gravel bike for a long ride. And I don't mind them for an hour or two. They just got a little bumpy, but I didn't even notice the harshness of the carbon wheels. So would I have been faster on my standard RLT9 with the regular stock wheels versus this? It's hard to say, really. The bike felt really good with the carbon wheels. So For me, if I was going to use this bike in a race situation, I would put on carbon wheels. And by the way, I haven't talked much lately about these tough wheels, but they are really doing well. No issues at all with these. These are the deeper dish ones. I would go with a little bit shallower dish of these wheels. It's just a side note here. But I would go with the shallower dish if I were going to use these on long gravel rides. For cyclocross racing, these are fine. They're very light, fast, and stiff. But anyway, that was just kind of an update on the MCR. I think I'm going to make a whole separate video of the ride that we did today. It was the 9th annual Heartbreaker Cycling Invitational. I had to look up the full name on Facebook, but really beautiful day of riding. So I've got 3 more videos I'll be doing on the MCR. One is going to be on single track and rough double track. The other one is a time trial between this bike and my standard RLT9 with the exact same setup. I'm going to use the stock wheels. This is the same build. It's a 4-star build, so that'll be cool. And then the final wrap up. I'll do kind of a whole review on this bike. Everything I like, everything that I don't like, which is not much. I mean, for what it's intended, this bike is excellent. And by the way, I talked to JOM, gravel cyclist, today. He has the demo now too, and he loves the bike. In that review, I'll kind of wrap up my thoughts of who I think this bike is best for. All right, that's my update right now on the Niner MCR. Thanks for watching.